I know Murray State has always been a special place for you. Talk about the place that it holds in your heart.
It's still when I drive into town, it just still kind of gives me a feeling that's kind of hard to describe, and that's why I know it is a special place, and it was a special place for me. And my decision to come here, whatever it was now, 8-9 years ago, was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, because I still do get that feeling that's hard to describe to people. And it's such a joy to come back here to see the people that impacted my life, my teammates, my coaches. It's just the basketball program's a special program, but the university is a special university, and it's hard to put into words what it did for me and what it's done for me, into my career now. But it's a blessing to have been a Racer for sure.
I know I've mentioned this to you before, but Mick Cronin told me once you were the best player he signed while he was here.
I don't know about that. He may have been inflating that one a little bit, but I'll take the compliment for sure.
Okay. Do you have any funny stories you can tell us about your time here?
Oh man, I mean, that's the funny thing. When we get back together with some of our old teammates, a lot of people may think that it's just memories that are basketball memories, and while there are plenty of basketball memories, so many of the things we talk about, laugh about, reminisce on are memories that are off the floor, because your teammates are who you're surrounded by 24/7. You're immersed in everything that you do is with them. So it's hard to probably pinpoint one, but basketball-wise, obviously winning the tournament, the regular season and tournament championship my freshman year was a memory that I'll never forget, because you're accomplishing something that's greater than yourself. To put the team before yourself and to do something like that hangs up in the rafters forever is very special.
I'm sure you've got to have a story on Coach Cronin.
There's too many on Coach Cronin. He, I texted him before I got up here just thanking him for recruiting me and bringing me here. I guess one story was, when he started recruiting me, he was in the gym that I was playing in, but wasn't even there for me. It's just kind of happened to be the perfect situation. He was there, saw me, and then they kind of just, got the ball rolling in terms of recruiting. So glad that God crossed our paths, and, glad that I was able to come here.
Coach Kennedy took over for Coach Cronin. Yep. I think you played for him for at least a year or two.
Yep.
Billy was kind of a polar opposite of Coach Cronin in his style, but very successful at Murray State.
Absolutely. I played for my last 3 years were under Coach Kennedy.
Okay.
After our freshman year, Coach Cronin went to the Cincinnati job.
Okay.
But you're right, two polar opposites, but both successful in two different ways. So I think that it showed me, as now trying to be an aspiring coach, it showed me that it can be done in different ways. Coach Kennedy was very soft-spoken, but he demanded the best from everybody. He was a defensive-minded coach. He was real big in developing us off the floor spiritually, and very concerned about our well-being as people, which that's been great for me as I've kind of gone on. But enjoyed my time with Coach Kennedy just as much. He was a terrific role model for me, and fortunate to be able to still talk to him and keep in touch with him to this day.
You're an assistant coach at Belmont now. Is it at all odd for you to be on the opposing sideline?
It is. It's very odd. Today it's not odd, because today I'm here celebrating, right. Me being here. But there's no question, like when we came up here last year, it's kind of hard to describe what it feels like. It was probably a little bit more weird when Prome was still here, because obviously I didn't play for McMahon. But, I've gotten to know Coach McMahon really well. But just being on the opposite sideline, visiting the locker room, which I didn't even know where it was until we came back here, is a weird feeling. I mean, I put a lot of time into this place, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I still have a special place in my heart for Murray State. But at the same time, my job now is 17, 16 other kids at Belmont University that I'm trying to give my all for 365 days a year, and so when you invest that much into some kids, you want to see them be successful, and so I try to pour everything I have into them, even though it is a weird dynamic, when we play Murray.
Well, and Coach Bird, a great coach in his own right, so I'm sure you've learned a lot from him, just as you did from Coach Kennedy and Coach Cronin.
I have. I've been fortunate to be under those three. I've just tried to be a sponge every day with Coach Bird. A lot will argue he'll end up being a Hall of Fame coach, so the fact that I've gotten to spend, I think it's 8 years now under him, has been something that's kind of hard to put into words. How much it's helped me develop as a coach. I feel like I'm nowhere near where I was 8 years ago, and so that's hopefully something that I'll be able to take with me wherever my next stop is. And trying to be an aspiring head coach, hopefully being under his tutelage will help me be a better head coach one day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Will.
All right.